Tales from the Grey House, Episode 5, Rooms That Do Not Settle. The house groaned gently as Vinnie drummed his fingers against the window. Rain fell in sheets, no harder, no softer, just endless. "I dunno," he muttered, shifting uncomfortably. "Maybe we could eat something." Gray paused mid-step, head tilted like he'd caught a curious note in the silence. "Something warm?" Vinnie waved vaguely. "Doesn't have to be gourmet, just enough to distract us." Gray's smile didn't quite reach his eyes. "Of course, I'm not much of an eater myself, but I do keep supplies for guests." He vanished down a hallway they hadn't noticed a moment ago. Alone at last, Ruby and Vinnie wandered deeper into Gray's strange menagerie. Cabinets crept across the walls like moss, lined with relics that looked donated by unease itself. A pair of child-sized gloves, sealed in glass, labelled simply, "They never wrinkle." A photograph of a man whose face Ruby felt unsettlingly sure changed slightly every few minutes. A locket shaped like a moth's wing, pulsing with a faint heartbeat, surely a trick of the light. 12 wooden teaspoons, each labelled with a specific emotion. A ledger titled "Names Not to be Named Twice," filled with illegible entries. Velvet-lined drawers held riddles no one had written down. One contained a dress folded from newspaper, every headline recounting a different disaster. Floods, fires, missing children, wars that never reached this country. The ink had bled in places, as though the stories had tried to escape. Another drawer held a jar that looked like it had captured a storm. Sound whirled within. Ruby paused beneath a painting where the brushstrokes resembled scratches. "You think he's hypnotising us?" Vinnie scoffed, but softer than usual. "I don't know. He's got that voice, like a priest who's heard something in a confessional he wasn't supposed to." "He doesn't blink enough," she said. "The guy is either cracked or—" "What?" Ruby glanced over her shoulder, not quite ready to say. They stopped beneath a shelf of carved hands labelled "Borrowed Gestures." Vinnie leaned in. "So, we wait out the night, find something worth stealing, kill the guy." Ruby raised an eyebrow. "And then what? Loot a cursed garnet and spend the rest of our lives being haunted by Madame Petronel's hot tea?" Vinnie stared at her. "You're colder than me." She shrugged. "I listen better." They walked on, slower now. Ruby hesitated beside a closed door. "I want more stories," she said. "I don't want more stories." Vinnie nodded, almost to himself. That might be the most honest thing anyone said in this house. He poked idly at a taxidermied bat with spectacles glued to its snout. "Does this guy collect weirdness or breed it?" Ruby didn't answer. She'd slipped into a narrower hall, the wallpaper printed with muted floral swirls, dreamlike, almost symbolic. There, on an oxidized tray beneath a dollhouse-sized coffin, lay something that made her stop. A funeral card, elegant, frayed at the edges. The ink faded like it had wept itself dry. Beside it, an old photograph, Elspeth in profile, veil lifted just enough to glimpse a nose strikingly like Ruby's own. Then came a musical chime, not from the phonograph, but the ceiling, something shifting overhead. She turned to call for Vinnie, but the corridor behind her was not where she remembered it, replaced by a wall covered in hand-drawn maps of rooms that didn't exist. When Gray reappeared, he held a plate of sandwiches, irregularly triangular. The bread was white as marble, the jam rich and red, almost vivid enough to bleed. Sister Mary used to cut them like this, Ruby thought, carving each triangle out of the square one by one, so no two pieces were ever the same size. The jam tasted like her old recipe too, cinnamon folded through strawberry. Gray watched her with a whimsical tilt of the head. Ruby felt sure he somehow knew. "Eat up," he said, "so you'll grow up big and strong." Echoing the nun's words 2 decades gone. "Funny," Gray added gently, "how flavour carries memory. Be careful not to wander too far. Some rooms in the house aren't settled yet. They might mistake you for part of the decor." Vinnie popped one triangle into his mouth, then frowned mid-chew. "Tastes like childhood," he said, "but not mine."